Hey, boy. That boy. That's the only Democrat we got on the place right here. That's right. That gum mule. He's a good boy. All right now. Okay, fellas. We got this other side fender liner out. Got the floor jack in there underneath the frame, just stretching it up a little bit just to increase this working space here. Got the 39.5 screws, 15 Torx screws, and the one 7mm or 9/32 hex head screw that goes in right here, and the 2 screws, one there and one about right there, and there's 2 that's got the washer on it. It goes down here in the bottom. You have to take these out so you can get the liner off. But the other side, I took and pulled this back and left it kind of hooked up there on the fender, but it kind of stressed a little bit. There's a strip of adhesive in there. I don't want to mess with it, so we just pulled it out enough to get the liner released out from behind there, and we'll just leave that dangle up there. And but anyway, this side right here, you can see the front one there, center screen, glow plug, and the other one's kind of back in there behind that. That's your exhaust brake assembly, I believe is what that is. But it's kind of back in there a little bit. You can see it right there, and the other two's right there. So, and like I say again, those are 5/16 or 8mm nuts that go on there that hold the harness connector on. Again, check your orientation of your wire and try and get that put back the same place. And we'll go ahead and get them out. Yeah, that'll take a while to watch, but you can kind of fast forward too as you need. Get these off. Don't take them nuts all the way off. Just kind of spin them loose and then get in there with your fingers and spin them off and catch them so you don't drop them. So you probably won't be able to find them. And this one back in there, we'll use the rag or grease trick on the nut to capture it. And same way going back on, so it's back up in there and you can't hardly get to it. Unless you got basketball player hands, you know, fingers that are 7 inches long. Mine aren't quite like that. Anyway, got them all 4 loose. And go ahead and pull that harness connector off of there. There's one nut. There's the other nut. The harness connector off. Just kind of flip it up out of the way. And spin that about all the way off. Where's that one at? Oh, too low. Just a squirrel trying to get a nut, fellas. Hope everybody had a happy Easter. And maybe had a good time with your friends or family and your church family. What it's all about anyway. Okay, let's see. Now we need to put the 10mm on there. I'm just using a little 4-inch ratchet. Those glow plugs aren't in there real tight. They're not in there real tight, so you don't have to get out your 4-foot cheater pipe and 3/4-inch ratchet and extension to get them out. There's 2 of them right there. And there we go. Kind of like changing spark plugs on a diesel, fellas. Only different. Only different. So there's 3. Now let's see. Let me let's see what we got here. Might be able to use my magnet on that nut. Get it out there on the end of the I ain't got to loosen up. Right out there on the end of that glow plug. Now, it's a neat trick, but it won't work. Let me get the daggum out rag. Sorry, fellas. That mule over there hollering, he's wanting you dinner. That's the thing about a Democrat. You feed them once, and they'll never go feed themselves again. You got to feed them from then on. Yeah, there we go. Got the nut off. We'll just leave that on there. So when we go to put it back together, now we need to swap the socket out. Put the 10mm on. I don't think we need any. I gotta get the harness connector on. Yeah, I need a put a swivel on there. That's probably going to be too long. Yeah, I need to get a different. I got a wobble connector. It's a 1-inch extension, or it really ain't an inch, but it made the wobble. It'll give you a little bit of an angle. That might be enough. That daggum thing don't, stupid ball don't hold too good. Anyway, where's my, yeah, that's perfect. Went right on there. Went right on there. Went right on there. Okay, there's all 4. It don't take about 10 minutes. Those 4 are done. Go over here right quick and grab the others. Now, I suppose when you handle these, it's probably a good idea not to touch that out there on the end and get oil and stuff on it. It might cause it to burn up. And if you got a lot of age on your Duramax, maybe when you go to put these in, don't put anti-seize on here or anything that's going to cause a resistance problem, because they ground, they case ground. Your power goes here and they ground here, and if it doesn't get a good ground, you'll increase the resistance and you'll burn that tip up. The glow plug won't last near as long. So if it's really kind of crusty in there, just spit on that maybe, or get some WD-40 or a Master Blaster, PB Blaster, and give a little squirt on them threads. But these come out pretty easy and no real resistance. It's not a real high mileage engine. I think he's only got 70,000 on it. It's a 2018. But anyway, and when you put these in, they'll snug up, and then just give them another 1/8 or maybe 1/4 of a turn, and that's enough. Don't get out your 1-inch impact and 1/2-inch air hose and 1800 ooga doogas and twist them off. I don't know, I think I heard somebody say there's like 13 inch-pounds torque to hold them in. And that ain't very much. That ain't very much. I'm gonna take, and obviously they're right-hand thread, so lefty loosey and righty tighty. And you can see I didn't break out my cheater pipe and put on there. That's tight enough. And I put my wobble socket on there, or extension. And some of you may not know, but these trucks had a recall on the block heaters. I don't really know why. But mine is a 19 Duramax, and I'll get in over that connector shoulder. There it goes. But the harness on mine, I bought mine used. The 19, I bought it used in October 21. And it was not usable because the plug had been cut off, and but the block heater I'll show you here in a minute. Come with me. Well, let's see. Get the light in the right spot for you. There you can see it right there. The cord's cut off of this one, but he's gonna go have that recall done on this. And anyway, we got all 4 of the glow plugs in. Get the harness connector back on there. That one, where'd I put it? It's kind of up in there in that heat shield. There we go. There's 2. That one's kind of in behind it. There, it's on there. I can't see what I'm doing. You have to go by feel. Sometimes you got to feel it out. There we go. Yeah, got it. I'll get them nuts put on there. Anyway, we'll go ahead and end this video. We'll get them 4 nuts put on, and like I say, I've got that one that goes back in there behind the engine brake. It's still packed in that hand towel to hold it in the socket. And so you tighten them up, just snug them up, and you might have to hold your harness connector so when you're tightening it, it doesn't twist with the nut and move your orientation. But other than that, then slide your wheel liner down in there and then come back in behind your fender trim. And there's 79 15 Torx screws and 2 Torx screws that goes in there and 1 hex head screw that goes there. But anyway, fellas, I appreciate you watching. Share, like, and subscribe. Comment if you would. Have a good day.